Hey, good morning. It is Monday, June 3rd. Oh, the first Monday of June, halfway through the year. Boy, has this year gone fast, and what an amazing year it has been. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, are you showing up for your business, or are you being distracted by fake worries that keep you small? And I hear this a lot from people when I talk to people. I hear a lot of, I'm afraid to go live. I don't know what to say on my page. I don't want to bring too much personal stuff. Nobody wants to hear that. People will get annoyed if they get too many notifications. I actually spoke with someone the other day who didn't want to reply to every comment because she was concerned that people would get annoyed at the notifications that there was conversation happening. Do you spend time worrying about that stuff? Are you afraid to go live on your Facebook page because you think people will judge you? Are you afraid to say the wrong things? Are you afraid that you're going to make a mistake, you're going to screw up? Those things are keeping you from really stepping into who you are and really being the impact that you want to be in this world. And I know there's been plenty of times over the years in my business where I have felt like I'm really stepping up now. And each time I was definitely taking a step forward, and I was moving the needle a little bit, and I was definitely doing more than I had been doing in the past. And so I don't want to discredit the efforts being made. But at the end of the day, I could look back and go, oh, but I held back. I didn't do as much as I wanted to do, or I still let fear and doubt and small thinking keep me from really putting myself out there. So, if you're thinking about, like, you don't have time to manage your Facebook page. Well, yeah, it takes time to manage your Facebook page. You don't have time to find the content that you need for your Facebook page. Yeah, it takes time to find content. If you're saying, I don't have time to make my Facebook Lives and make a commitment to do it every week, and things come up and I can't do it, and another appointment, you know what, put it in your calendar and make it unnegotiable. What's the word? Unnegotiable. That's not the word. Non-negotiable. There you go. You guys are the first people I've spoken to today. So, it's about how much of a priority do we make this stuff in our business? And a lot of people make the complaining and the moaning and the being distracted and the worry and the stress way more of a commitment in their lives and their business than the actual doing of their business. And I know people who say, well, I can't go, I was going to go live today, but I can't go live today. Some people showed up unexpectedly, or, my hair isn't right today, or I got a bruise, or names, pick something. A call went long. You know what? When you make it non-negotiable, you just do it. When you commit, you do it. And I know it's not always easy to make changes, and we sometimes are functioning on autopilot. But in my life, I can look back to times when I said I wanted change, I wanted more visibility, I wanted a bigger page, I wanted more engagement, I wanted more people coming to me, I wanted more of a community on my Facebook group. And yet, my actions didn't support what I wanted. I wasn't posting every day. I wasn't looking at my content as market research. I looked at content that didn't get any engagement as bombs and as somehow as a reflection of my value as a Facebook marketer, as a human being. Hi to whoever's here. Let me know who's here. Hi, Katie. And I would look at and I would sit there and think, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, but I wasn't really doing the things that I needed to do to make it happen. I wasn't scheduling an hour in my week. Could I not find an hour in my week to sit down and schedule my posts. I wasn't finding 5 or 10 minutes in a day to go to my page each and every day to look and see if anybody had commented to anything and then to reply to them. I really wasn't doing the work. Hi, Susan. I wasn't doing the work that needed to be done to accomplish the thing that I said that I wanted. So I was saying I wanted a certain thing, but I wasn't changing what I was doing. And it wasn't until I made that commitment. So I remember about 2 years into my business, I was feeling, maybe it was a bit longer, maybe 3 years into my business, I was feeling a little frustrated because people that had started, had started around the same time as me were now jetting off to these amazing locations to speak at conferences, had clients all over the world, we're making all this money, we're buying new cars, we're moving into new homes, and I was still sitting in the same place that I was in 2 years previously, 3 years previously. I was still working with local clients who, I love them, they were great local clients, but they didn't want to pay very much. I was still undervaluing my services. I was still undercharging for what I could do. I was still doubting my value. I was still using my kids as an excuse as to why I couldn't grow. I was still blah, 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 blah. There were so many things that I wasn't doing that would help me accomplish what I needed to do. And I was spending so much time every day helping my clients grow their businesses that I wasn't prioritizing growing my business. And listen, it's not going to happen unless you prioritize it and you make it mandatory. And I used excuses, and I used fear, and I used time, and I used fatigue, and I used energy, and I used my kids, and I used a bazillion things. I had no lack of, I have a hair here, sorry guys. I had no lack of excuses as to why I wasn't growing, why I wasn't getting the opportunities my peers seemed to be getting, why I wasn't achieving what I said I wanted. Well, my actions weren't moving towards it. I wasn't prioritizing my business and my growth, and I wasn't doing the work that needed to be done. And then I had a mentor say that he scheduled 2 hours every morning on his calendar just for his work. He didn't answer email, he didn't look at email, he didn't answer Facebook messages, he didn't answer the phone, he didn't schedule calls during that time. The only thing he did during that time was dedicate his mind and his energy to growing his business. If that was setting up ads, writing copy, setting up funnels, writing landing pages, doing Facebook Lives, whatever it was, planning a marketing campaign, just putting, thoughts to paper and creating things that he could do that would move him to the next step. He prioritized. And so I went, okay, I'm going to do that. Now, in the world that I had in the moment with little kids at home, homeschooling little kids, not enough money for babysitters or to put them in daycare, not wanting to put them in daycare, that meant I got up 2 hours earlier. So I was already getting up at like 6. So now I'm getting up at 4. And I dedicated the first 2 hours of my day every day to the work that it took to grow my business. Writing blog posts, managing my page. I did not do anything but my stuff. And some days it was only, looking at my financials. Some days it was daydreaming about what I was going to do next that would bring in more money. Some days it was attending a webinar in order to learn something that I could implement. But it was all about me for those 2 hours. And it's then when my business really started growing. And it's because I made a commitment to it. And it's the same thing with Facebook Lives. When I remember webinars became big, and I was really nervous about doing webinars. I didn't want to do a webinar. And then I committed. I started doing weekly webinars, weekly Facebook marketing trainings on a webinar every week. I need a drink. And that grew my business because I committed to doing it every week. It was non-negotiable. No phone calls were booked during that time. I never went, oh, I'll start later. Oh, I'll do it next week. Oh, I'll do it an hour from now. I never did that. And it's funny, at the time that I was doing that, I didn't think that I was being really that committed. And I was still looking at other people and going, oh, why are they growing so much and I'm not? I was growing. I just didn't see it in the moment. Seeds take a while to plant, right? Seeds take a while to nurture and to turn into something. So I was up every morning at 4 o'clock. And now I don't get up that early anymore, believe me. But I also shifted my calendar. I don't take any calls before 10 o'clock. And I still have that time, but it is not something that I have to focus so hard on now. It's been a non-negotiable for so long that it is just a given. It is just my time to grow my business and to plan my future. I have 6 months left in this year. I haven't yet hit the goals that I said I wanted to hit. Hit a lot of them, but not all of them. The financial goal is still elusive. So June, I'm hitting that financial goal. Damn it. And for the rest of the year. And I'm dedicating time in my day to do that. And it's the same with your Facebook page, with your Facebook groups, with even your profile, which I'll never tell you to do business on, but there's lots of other things you can do there. If you are not getting the growth on your page that you want, dedicate it on your calendar. And I talk to people all the time who say, Facebook doesn't work for me. Facebook, I post and I never get any results. Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And they complain and bitch and Facebook's their excuse. But when I ask them, well, how much time do you actually spend on that? Well, I post a few times a week. That's bullshit. You're not committed. You're as committed as you can be in the moment. And I want to be mindful of that, because I did what I could do. Before I made these decisions to do this, I did all that I thought that I could do. And I heard other people. In fact, before I made that commitment to the 2 hours in the morning, before that, I had a coach that I'd worked with. And he told me when he was growing his business, that he went to, 14 networking events a week. That's 2 a day, even on Sundays. And if I wanted to grow my business, that's what I had to do as well. And I said to him, are you kidding me? I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids that are like 7 and 11 years old. And I need a babysitter every time I go out because I have no family. I have no wife sitting at home to stay with my kids. I have no nanny. I have no husband to stay with my kids. I have no family at all. I have to pay, and I'm not making enough money at these networking events to pay for the babysitter. I can't do that. And he said, well, you're not committed to your business then. And I walked away in tears and I stopped working with him. And so I don't want to say the same thing to you guys. I don't want to do that to you guys. If you are doing what you can do, then that's what you can do. And what I'm asking you to do is to write down all the things that stop you from finding extra time and seeing if you can find 15 minutes a day. Don't go for 2 hours a day if that seems too much. When I heard the 2 hours a day thing, that did work for me in that moment, and I was fired up enough to make that happen. But if somebody had suggested that 2 years before, I don't think I could have done that. So I'm in no way saying that you're not committed to your business. I know you are. Your businesses are important to you and you work really hard on them. I'm asking you to look at the time that you're spending in things right now and see if there's any wiggle room in there. If there's some spaces where you're using that activity as a distractor, if there are some spaces where you're taking a bit longer than it really needs to, where you're dawdling or you aren't really very focused, that you could find even 15 minutes a day to dedicate to the growth of your business. Just imagine what that would do, and just imagine how different it would be if you showed up to your business like that every day. And I know you are in other ways, but I also know that you want increased visibility. You want people to know that you're here. You want people to be responsive to your time on Facebook. You want people to interact with your Facebook Lives. You want people to comment on your posts. And 15 minutes a day dedicated, that's non-negotiable, will make a huge difference. You will absolutely see a difference. Maybe not today, but maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, who knows? So take a minute and write down those things that distract you, that take up more time, that are keeping you from doing this. If this is really what you want to do, and this is really going to contribute to the growth of your business, to focus your energy and your efforts onto your Facebook presence, then find 15 minutes somewhere in your day. And if that does mean 15 minutes earlier in a day, are you willing to do that? So, you know, like I said, I haven't hit all my goals. And one of the things I'm going to do today is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write down the things that have kept me from hitting my goals. And I've hit a lot of them. It's the financial one where I haven't hit the number that I wanted to hit yet this year. So I'm going to spend some time today evaluating what's holding me back from hitting that number, and what commitment can I make non-negotiable that I am going to do to make sure I hit that number. So take the time. And hey, you know, if you say, I don't really want to grow my Facebook presence, that's perfectly fine. It's totally optional. It's not a requirement. I think social media is kind of a requirement, but maybe it's Instagram you want to focus on. That's totally fine too. Whatever works for you. Whatever brings you joy as well. I want you to really think about that as well. You know, what if you take the time to do 15 minutes every day dedicated to your Facebook presence, will that contribute more to your life? Will that add to your life? Have a look at that. Thanks for being here with me. I don't have much else to say today about that. I'll see you next Monday, June 10th, I believe, and we'll do this again. And if you guys ever have any specific questions about Facebook, please just message me or leave me a comment here, and I will address it in one of my upcoming shows. And I'd be happy to talk about that question. If you want to share it, I'd be happy to answer it, and I'd give you a shout out. So thanks for being here today. Have a great week. See if you can find that 15 minutes and see if you can challenge yourself to bringing all of you onto your Facebook page, and see what difference that would make in the connection you make with the people that you want to do business with. Have a great week.